Hi, my name is Joseph, and I've been thinking about the recent new cutscene from Destiny 2. So, if one is unaware, this last reset, last Tuesday, let me check the specific dates. Give me a quick second. Thank you for your patience. On the 20th of June, Bungie released a new seasonal cutscene that really showed a lot about the story of Destiny 2. More specifically, about the villain of Destiny 2, the Witness. So right off the bat, a quick summary. This cutscene shows that the Witness was just like any other race of organic beings that were suffering like humankind was, and they discovered the Witness, and what seems to be it was buried. They obfuscated it. I'm not pronouncing that correctly, excuse me, but they dug it out from the ground. And like with humanity and other species that the traveler came across, the traveler uplifted the Witness's species, but unfortunately, for the Witness's race, they were not really satisfied. What were they satisfied about? They were grateful, well, at least I'm hoping they were grateful, for the technological advances and blessings that the traveler was granting, but they weren't really too enthusiastic about the traveler being silent, about the traveler not really offering any kind of insight. That does seem familiar, right? The traveler never spoke with humanity as well. And in fact, we had an individual, the speaker, who was speaking for the traveler. So the traveler spoke to individuals, supposedly like the speaker and Crow, but it never actually spoke itself. So this was an aspect that the Witness's race could not get over. And so they wanted to find an answer, essentially a purpose. So they went off into space, and while traveling, they encountered the Veil. And when they started studying the Veil, as it turns out, they discovered, or they just became dismayed by what the traveler is able to do. And they realized that while it's able to do great blessings, it's also able to do catastrophes as well. That if one is not careful, the traveler is able to uplift, but also destroy. And so because of this, the Witness race felt like they needed to be the guardians of the universe, essentially, protectors, and create a universe where there is purpose, meaning, life where there's purpose and meaning, and direction. The traveler did not like this. What didn't the traveler like? The combination of the Veil upon the traveler. And so that's when the traveler chose to leave. And the Witness, being very stubborn, or rather, let me rephrase that, the people that were the Witness, they made the choice to do some sort of ritual where they combined their life force into one. Thus, we have the Witness that we know. So the original people look similar to how the Witness looks currently, the only difference being, obviously, the head does not have ghostly figures projecting from the forehead or from the head, the crown of the head. So we finally get the backstory, the history of the Witness. I'm not going to lie, when I first saw it, I wasn't disappointed, but I was left curious. I was one of those individuals who believed that the pyramid ships were of something of cosmic beginnings, that it was a supernatural creation. And as it turns out, and when Bungie revealed the Witness, I just assumed that still, despite the pyramid ships not being alive per se, that the Witness itself was a supernatural cosmic being, kind of like Marathons, I can't pronounce it, but that creature that starts with a W, or any Lovecraftian Eldritch horror, right? I thought that maybe that's what was going on. But as it turns out, it's more akin to Mass Effect's The Reapers. When the Reapers were first revealed, a lot of individuals, the fan base, believed again that it was akin to a Lovecraftian force. Did life, the universes, create the Reapers to help bring balance? So in the same idea that life, the universe create the pyramid ships and the Witness to help bring balance, the darkness and the light. But it gets revealed in the same way that the Reapers were created by a race, a being. The Witness, in the same way, was created by itself. They made the choice, the people, to turn into the Witness. I was a little bit disappointed about that because that implies that essentially this story is, well, there are supernatural elements to it, but there's going to be no Eldritch horror that will be fighting at the end. Or more specifically, the Witness itself is not an Eldritch cosmic entity. After I started thinking about it, though, my disappointment, or rather my curiosity, started dissipating. I started enjoying the cutscene more, or the details of the cutscene. and it made me realize that well, the fact that the witness was chasing the traveler for eons, for thousands of years, there's still a lot behind that story, right? I can't imagine where one's purpose is to chase or another being. Very, if one wants an example why that's probably not the best route to take, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, right? You have the creature chasing his creator for a specific purpose, and that chase becomes his life, and vice versa. The doctor starts chasing the creature after everything goes down, the actions that the creature has done. But that novel shows the audience, readers, that vengeance or narrow-mindedness may not be the proper route forward. I wouldn't say that the witness is trying to get vengeance upon the traveler, but it is trying to enact its own ideologies and its own. Well, essentially, the witness believes it's acting as a savior to the universe, to life. So I have been seeing a lot of comments where apparently this is quite akin to an anime. I can't pronounce it correctly, but it starts with a G. If one is watching this video and they're a Destiny fan, you're more than likely aware what I'm referencing. I don't have much history with anime. I've only seen a handful of them, so unfortunately, I think it's also a manga. So unfortunately, I'm not aware of the story. But it sounds similar. The anti-Sparrow apparently in Sparrows, and the anti-Sparrow is akin to the Witness. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds intriguing enough that I probably will, if not watch or read the manga slash anime itself. Maybe I'll just check out a summary. But yeah. What do a lot of individuals feel about this cutscene? So I'm gonna go away from this narration aspects of it and go more into the player base, their feelings towards it. So right now, I know a lot of the community, they're a little bit confused as to why this cutscene came out during a seasonal story rather than with the expansion being Lightfall. And to be honest with everyone, I'm more neutral when it comes to that. I think it's quite clear and obvious that Lightfall is acting as a stopgap between Beyond Light Beyond Witch Queen and the final shape. And it is unfortunate. We see how the beginning cutscene seamlessly connects with the ending cutscene from Lightfall. And now we're discovering how elements of the story maybe should have been included within the expansion itself rather than in the seasonal storyline. But the reason why I'm more natural about this is just because I'm not trying to defend Bungie. I do agree that this cutscene should have been included in Lightfall. Should have been something that the fans should have been discussing rather than during 2 seasons later, right? Season of the Defiance that came out with Lightfall, and now we're in Season of the Deep. And so I'm not trying to defend that aspect, but the reason why I'm a little bit okay with it is just because of the fact that Destiny 2 is a live service game. So that always implied that although the expansion should contain most of the story elements, the seasonal story should always be pushing the story forward in the first place. I do agree it shouldn't be major aspects of the story. There should be details that's helping to set up major aspects for the next expansion. But it's still a live service game, so it should still be feeling like the story is, shaking up. There's lows and highs as in a lot of activity, not too much activity, a lot of activity, and so forth, right? So that's why I'm not as upset about this situation, but I definitely do see the perspective of individuals saying that this cutscene should have been included in Lightfall. And it's actually, Bungie did come out and state to radio officially that after this season is over, or rather after the next expansion releases, so the final shape, usually seasonal content is removed. This cutscene will not be removed. It's going to be included in some part of Destiny 2 where new fans and past fans could rewatch that cutscene. And it definitely is a major cutscene because, it's the backstory to the Witness. But with that being said, though, I do have to agree with other individuals that this is a major component of the Witness's character. We're only getting further elaboration on the Witness's character in the expansion so far with I guess there's some aspects in the seasonal stories as well, but again, the major details should be part of the expansions, not the seasonal story. I know there's some individuals, this was me when I first started playing Destiny with Beyond Light. I did not get the seasonal pass. I only got the expansion with that one season that came out with the expansion. It wasn't until I started playing that I made the choice to go ahead and will get more involved with Destiny. I could totally see other individuals being like myself. And what if they're playing Lightfall and they see who the witness is? Like, oh, who's this individual? I don't know who they are. And they do some light research and they discover, well, the witness, this is the first time it's coming to the solar system, to the solar system. So why isn't more information being divulged about this character? And then the backstory is released in a seasonal story. I can't imagine how one would feel. If one is engaged with the story, it might encourage them to buy the seasonal pass, but that shouldn't be a factor in the first place. So that is something that I can't really justify nor defend. So again, to reiterate, I'm kind of neutral with the cutscene being separate from Lightfall, but when it comes to the fan base, those individuals who are not like myself with the seasonal story, it is unfair, and that's something I do not defend, and an aspect that I just cannot justify whatsoever. It's just, I don't know why Bungie would do something like that. But hopefully Bungie continues, or rather, hopefully Bungie heals. I don't want to say that there's a rift currently, but there definitely seems to be some negative feelings with the fact that Destiny's PvP has been ignored for Marathon, and now we're seeing how the story is being cut into different. It's being parceled out. Hopefully, this is being done for a positive reason. Hopefully, this is being done to create a final product. The final product being the final shape that's going to be fun and engaging to play with, more akin to the Witch Queen rather than Lightfall. But it's a lot of hopes that I just said, right? A lot of hopefullys. So that's what I'm saying with that. Hopefully Bungie continues healing, amending the slight rift that seems to be coming from the more recent more details, like Marathon's release, the fact that PvP has been going down, a lack of new maps, and now it seems to be affecting PvE and the slightest as well. So yeah, so did you enjoy the cutscene for the Witness? What were your thoughts about that? Please feel free to share your opinions about that either in the comments or via personal messaging. Thank you so much for listening. I do appreciate it. My cat appreciates it as well. Bye everyone. Take care. You know what? Really random, but in case anyone's wondering, because I just added that new picture back there as a picture of my current cat Ocho with her sister Jazz, and yeah, I just wanted to quickly explain that. Next to them right there, that's my other cat Torito bathing Jazz. Anywho, thanks for listening. I do appreciate it. Have a great day and take care.